Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending upon where you are. We would like to welcome you to Post-Crisis Hospitality Management Certificate as put together by the School of Hospitality and Tourism Management in the Muma College of Business at the University of South Florida. Today is our week 4. As usual, we are going to start today with a pre-show interview. Our Dean, Muma College of Business Dean Moez Limayem, will be hosting Mr. Steve Griggs, the CEO of Tampa Bay Lightning. Before I invite Dean Moez, I would like to show you a short clip about the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Wow, thank you, Cihan. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to all of you for 6,000 plus from 102 countries. We're just delighted to have you today, and I hope you enjoyed this sequence of videos. I watched it more than 50 times, and I cannot have enough of it, watching our very own Lightning hockey team winning the very prestigious Stanley Cup. So congratulations again. You know, you probably asked last time we met is how can this get any better? How can we get even great pre-shows? Believe it or not, it is getting better. And the proof is today, because we have an incredible leader in our community, a very good friend of mine, one of the best in the sport industry, in the entertainment industry, Mr. Steve Griggs, the winner of the Stanley Cup, the CEO of the Tampa Bay Lightning, but more importantly, a true leader, just not a winner of the cup, but winner in every aspect of the word. He's known to be a very humane leader. He's known to be a very genuine leader. He's known to be a visionary, but more importantly, an incredible member of our community. It cannot get any better, folks. It really cannot. I'm just delighted, honored, and excited to have with us my very good friend, Steve Griggs. Steve, welcome, and thank you for your time.
Moez, thank you, and to Cihan, thank you as well for having me. You're my favorite cheerleader, I tell you.
Thank you,
very
Steve.
much.
No, but I really do believe it. And what just an incredible season, probably the most challenging, the most interesting, the most strangest season, but hey, the outcomes cannot be any better. When people complain about 2020, I said, hey, 2020 was bad, but guess what? We won the Stanley Cup, so it's not that bad anyway. So Steve, how is it for a CEO for one of the, I really believe, and I'm not just me saying it, is one of the best run franchises in professional sport in the world run. How does it feel at the end to see that Stanley Cup right there coming to you, coming to your arena, coming to your office, coming to our community?
Well, I think when you think of everything that's happened in the last 9 months, we've gone through really 3 pandemics. We've had the health pandemic, the financial pandemic, and the social unrest pandemic. And when I look at what usually they say 2 things. One is usually like a hurricane can galvanize a community, but a winning sports team can galvanize a community as well. And I think it united everybody, and that's what I really that's why I'm in this business. Whether it's sports or concerts, it unites people, and this is what happened when you win the Stanley Cup. You get the entire community around you. They're excited. They're unified, which is what I keep telling my team. It's all about unifying people. And yeah, we couldn't be there. My favorite moment was when that cup came down off the plane and Mr. Vinnick was able to lift it. As the owner, you wish he could have been there. I wish I could have been there. And obviously, during this pandemic, we couldn't cross the border into Canada, and it was unfortunate that we couldn't be there. It was unfortunate it couldn't be in our arena with 19,000 people. Obviously, that had a huge economic shift in our organization, and obviously it started back on March 12th when we went into a pause with not only the Lightning, but then all of our other events in the building too. But that it had a trickle down economic effect too. But with that, it's been a great thing for this city, and it's 10 years from now, people aren't going to remember that was in the middle of the pandemic we won a Stanley Cup. And actually, it was probably harder to win this Stanley Cup than any other, because not only was it the physical grind of winning 16 games to win the Stanley Cup, it was a mental grind of being in a bubble for 65 days. So for the players and the coaches, they did an incredible job. And, we had a big water boat parade, which was great. It was socially distanced, of course, but it was great for this community.
Thank you, Steve. And just to put things into perspective here, we have people in 102 countries, and some of them probably did not grow up watching or understanding hockey. But for our friends here, this is really compares to the soccer or football World Cup in the world of hockey. It is that important. It is, the players will be, they grow up, they start playing hockey, dreaming of that day where they can hold and win the Stanley Cup. So thank you, Steve, for helping, because to win the Stanley Cup, you don't just need great players and great coaches, but you need amazing business leaders to manage that organization. And all of us are very grateful to you and your team. So you mentioned March. The
Yes.
pandemic, you probably will not forget that, Steve. The pandemic really took us by surprise. And, we think here in our in higher education that we are negatively impacted, but I can tell you not even close to your industry, the industry of sports, professional sport, but also, like you said, you ran an arena, and it is a great hub for entertainment. So let's go back there and what did you do? Here we go.
Right.
Everything goes down. Basically, no more revenues, right? It's just I can only imagine the sleepless night that you must have had, but you manage it like nobody else. So what's the secret? What did you do, Steve?
Well, I think, unfortunately, on March 11th, I remember being on a call. I was about to go into the Hard Rock Casino to a charity event, and I spent an hour outside, not only dealing with the fact that we were going to lose the NCAA first two rounds. We were also going to lose WWE. We were having WrestleMania in our building. And then I was also dealing, because we run the Yingling Center at USF, we were canceling Martin Lawrence. And that was all happening in about an hour. As I went into this charity event, they shut down the borders, international flight travel. Then the NBA can't pause their season. And then Tom Hanks got coronavirus. And then that was the trifecta. We knew the next day that we were going to be shut down and go on a pause. And if you think back then in March, people were like, well, maybe if we're just pausing for a month and we'll be back in April, we'll contain this and it'll all be taken care of. Well, here we sit 9 months later. And on the 12th, we went into full action of everybody's going to work from home. We're shutting down the building. I really thought over the weekend, we put everything into place. We understood what Zoom was then. We understood what WebEx was. We moved into a work from home and create a productivity. We still need to have productivity. And really, we created everything over the weekend, and we were ready. And by March 16th, everybody was working from home in our building. But I really had three things that I really thought about during that weekend, which was caring, connecting, and community. And how were we going to spend the next month, we thought, which has now become 8 or 9 months, of caring about our employees, making sure that health and safety of every one of our employees and their families was taken care of. 2, how are we going to continue to connect with our sponsors, our suite holders, still connect with our employees and our part-time employees. We had 1,500 part-time employees. And then community, how are we going to continue to have outreach in the community? So those were the 3 bases. And when I think about, we had 1,500 employees, part-time employees, that all of a sudden didn't have any hockey events, didn't have any of our other events. And this is, and Jeffrey Vinnick very well, our owner. We said we should probably pay them during this pause. And even though we weren't having those events, we paid every one of our part-time employees during the pause of April and May, and paid them for every event that we didn't have, because they were losing revenue, their salaries just like that. So we paid every single part-time employee, and it was about caring about our employees moving forward. And then connecting, when we talk about our season ticket members, our sponsors, our suite holders, they were all understanding, and we were connecting with them every single day to make sure that they were doing okay, because they were going through the same thing we were. Everybody was going home. Everybody was working from home. Everything was being shut down. So it wasn't like in my past experience where I've had a work stoppage and we've had to just deal with our organization. The entire world was dealing with a lockdown and dealing with this pandemic. So everybody was in it together. But and then when you talk about community, working with Jeff Vinnick, it was, okay, what are we going to do now? And, right then and there, we knew that people were going to lose their jobs. How do we help companies at that point in time, whether it was with the PPP loans, the SBA loans, food insecurity, because people had lost jobs. We used all of our resources then, whether it be out-of-home billboards, radio, TV, our print, everything that we had at our arsenal, social, digital. We created a platform of how we could direct people to all those different places in order to make sure that the people in the community, our fans who come to our games, we were directing them to the right place in order to get those resources that they needed.
Wow, Steve, and that's why I said nobody does it better than you and Mr. Vinnick. Let's talk a little bit more about the community, Steve. I've read more recently, I think, and we're going to see it on the screen, that your organization prepared 200,000 meals to feed the people in need in our community here in Tampa Bay. 200,000. This is in times of a true economic crisis. This is in time of where you really don't even have the revenues that you used to have before.
Right.
Why are you doing this?
Well, it's in our DNA, and it starts with Jeff Vinnick, who's the most benevolent owner you're ever going to meet. It's part of our brand pillars. Giving back is something that we do daily, because we've sold out 250 consecutive games here in Tampa, and we're a community asset, and we're just blessed to have incredible fans and an incredible community that we get to play in. So we know it's our social responsibility to continue to give back in Tampa and Tampa Bay. And so, we went to Thomas Manson and said, what can we do? Because once again, our ownership decided that those people you saw on the screen are actually Delaware North employees, and we've kept them on our payroll throughout this entire pandemic. There's 30 of them, and so they spend every day making meals. And so we've made over 200,000 meals for feeding Tampa Bay. At Yingling Center, we're a mega pantry on every Monday where people can come and grab food. If we always want to do the right thing, and one of the great things about our owner is that's what he says: just make sure you do the right thing. It's never wrong to do the right thing. I think Mark Twain said that. And so with our Community Hero program, which you know all about, where we give $50,000 away every single game to somebody who's doing God's work in this community. We've donated $21.5 million over 9 years, every single game. We missed 7 games during the pandemic that were paused. And Jeff said the right thing to do is make sure we go out and see those heroes that are doing God's work and helping, especially through this pandemic. And we gave those $50,000 to those great 501c3s and great associations that are doing great work in this community. They needed it more, and Jeff knew that they needed it at this time. So between that and $700,000 to Metropolitan Ministries that we donated because they really needed it too. As much as we are having an economic crisis within our own organization, there's people that need it more, and that starts with Jeff and ends with Jeff. When we're all blessed to work for him, and we understand now, we grow as leaders and we grow as people in this community, that we understand it's about giving back when you're so blessed.
But Jeff has the vision, has really the amazing attitude. But also, Steve, I know you so well, and you take that vision and you really make it a reality. So thank you for everything you do for our community. I always tell my colleagues and my team members, be good to your community will be good to you. And you are the absolute illustration of that. Actually, when you look at the numbers, 90% of your season ticket season holders are repeat customers. So what's the secret? People, not every we hope that from now on every season you'll get the Stanley Cup, but the reality is that's not practical. So what is the secret? How do you keep getting them back with the same passion and enthusiasm, even though sometimes the results, like the year before, was not excellent?
Yeah, we lost 4 games in a row after winning 62.
Exactly.
So yes, I'm fully aware of that pain, but it's all
no,
gone
I'm sorry for reminding you. Believe me, winning the cup erases everything.
It took 522 days to erase the pain, but yes, we did.
Absolutely.
We've been blessed to have a great renewal rate on our season ticket. We have 16,000 season ticket members. We've sold out every single game. Our suites are filled. We've been on this journey for 10 years, and we've been blessed in this community to have just great fans, and they love the Tampa Bay Lightning. But I think it goes back to our culture. I think Richard Branson says it best: you take care of your employees, they'll take care of your customers. And whether it's our full-time staff of 250 people or our 1,500 part-time workers, they're a part of the mission to be world-class. And that was Jeff's mantra when he first came here, is I want to be a world-class organization. And that's how we treat people, in a world-class manner. So it doesn't matter if you're spending $20 upstairs in the upper bowl, or if you're $1 million sponsor, we treat you in a world-class manner. The product and services in our building, the guest experience is second to none. The game presentation is second to none. And it's all connected and woven together. That's allowed us to have, even during this pandemic, we have an 88% renewal rate. And people want to, it's important to stay with us, and we appreciate that. And it all goes back to being authentic and treating people in a world-class manner.
That's so true. And one of the things, Steve, I notice, and I never, every time I have time, I always go and watch the games and watch the shows. And what always strikes me, and I, every time I speak to a reporter or to our students or any setting, I take the Lightning as an example of truly customer, in this case, fan-centered type of culture. And that culture, it starts when I pull over the parking lot, the employee right there, up to when I go to the suite or to my seats and see the CEO, Steve Griggs, it's always the smile, it's always the welcome, it's always, how can I help? Do you need anything? So as the leader of this incredible organizations, what's the secret sauce, Steve? How do you instill that culture of really, like you said something very important, genuine? They are genuine. Even the person that let you in the building, everybody's. So what is the secret there? How can you help our listener just try to achieve this?
Right. Well, we always look at what the doorway to doorway experience is, and being authentic. And, it starts with Jeff as the owner, but as the leader of the organization, especially during this pandemic, I've really learned a lot about leadership, is that everybody's watching, especially on Zoom. They're always watching, but they're watching every action that you make. So it's important to walk the walk and talk the talk. But I wrote this quote down because I had it on my computer. But the character you possess during the drought is what your team will remember during the harvest. I think John Gordon gave me that quote, and I kept it during this time because I have to be positive during these times. But during the good times, I have to also be leading and setting examples. So if there's trash on, our front desk person, who took another job in the Hillsborough School District, wrote me a note and says, "I'll never forget the time we walked out together and you stepped down and you picked up the garbage and put it in the garbage can. That told me you were a true leader." And I said, "Well, that's what you should do." And those are the types of, you have to set the examples of how you treat people. And, I think that's so important in today's world, is how you treat people, and how hard you work is how successful you're going to be. And as a leader, I try to be authentic. And during these challenging times, especially, I really have to be authentic. I have to tell you the truth. I have to tell you the costs and challenges that are going to be in front of us. I need to tell you what the plan is moving forward. And, unfortunately, last week, for the first time, we had to lay some people off. And for the first 8 months, we had everybody at full salary. We had all 250 employees on the payroll, and we had to do some layoffs. But I was authentic about it. I told the truth. I told them why we had to do it. It pained me to lay people off, but because of the carnage of what's going on in the sports industry and the hospitality industry, it was something that was necessary. But people understood because I was being authentic about it. And as a leader, you have to be authentic and tell people exactly what is going on. And if they believe in your character, then they know you're being truthful.
That's so true. One of our listeners, Steve, wanted you, if you don't mind, repeat the quote.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The character you possess during the drought is what your team will remember during the harvest.
I like that. That's really nice. I like it. I love it. Thank you for repeating that, Steve.
No problem.
Looking a little bit to the future, is this really the light at the end of the tunnel? Several companies announced the vaccines as effective as 95%. How do you see the future of the entertainment, sports, the whole industry, and even tourism that is related?
Tourism, hospitality, sports industry. I'm excited for the future. I'm positive. I'm very fortunate. I get to work for Jeff Vinnick, who's really into research and studying what's coming. And he's really been dialed in on the vaccines. And back in April, I read up a lot on Oxford University and Sarah Gilbert. And I remembered in an all-staff meeting, which we had every single Friday at 1 o'clock. We've had an all-staff meeting on Zoom. We've had them every single week. But I was like, Sarah Gilbert with Oxford University and AstraZeneca. And that came out this week. So I was excited about that. Moderna and Pfizer. I'm excited because that's it. The virus is going to dictate when we come back. The vaccines, I'm thinking April, May, hopefully we're starting to get, herd immunity with the vaccines. I talk to Dr. Lockwood a lot, so I get excited. He's such a positive guy. But sports and concerts need to come back. Music and sports bring people back together. So I'm very bullish on the sports and entertainment industry. Is it going to be different? Absolutely. I think by Q3 and Q4, we're back to normal. but it's going to look different in buildings, cashless buildings, touchless buildings, lots of sanitation stations everywhere, plexiglass. Maybe still, you might still have to wear a mask, but you know what? If that's what it takes to come back and sit in the room with everybody and cheer on your favorite team or your favorite music artist, let's get it done. So I'm excited about the future. And has this 9 months been hard? Absolutely, it's been hard on everyone. Especially young. I really feel for young people. I worry about mental health, but we'll get through this together. We'll get through this together as a community, as a country, and as a world. And we'll come back. And as I've always said, I hope we'll be a better world when we come back after this, because we've cared for each other.
So true. Steve, we still have a couple of minutes.
Sure.
If I ask you, if you don't mind, what kind of advice you can give to our 6,000 plus participant from 102 companies from this industry,
Right,
as they prepare that, hopefully, I love your optimism, as they prepare for the new future, new norm,
yeah.
hopefully it will be post-pandemic, what kind of advice they really need to work on so that they will be successful?
For us, we're all about planning for the future. I took sports management back in the late 80s and early 90s, and this was never in the playbook. And it was the global pandemic. I didn't see that coming. But I think as we move forward here, there is, if you're planning correctly for the future, you're going to be fine. And I think people are going to see the sports industry differently. They're going to see hospitality different, but you got to be prepared for it. And so you got to be preparing now for what's going to happen in April, May, and June when things come back to normal. So as we prepare right now, we're preparing all of our maximum recovery plans. So as we look at the core for our business, and our business is tickets, sponsorships, suites, getting 95% of our revenues are all tied to hockey. So we're focused right now on the strategic planning of maximum recovery for that. We're evaluating the ancillary pieces of our business to see if we really need them in our business right now, because for the next 2 years, 3 years, we're going to have to focus back on the core. From a hospitality and, as we talk about hotels, just like us, we're doing a reopening plan, the building, and we've got a 200-page plan here that's tied to healthcare professionals, talking with the government but you really have to have consumer confidence. So using those platforms with health, government, working with a fan group as well, having that group, you have to have consumer confidence so people will go back into a hotel, they'll go back on an airplane, they'll go back to a sports arena. So we're building those plans in place now that we've touched just about every piece of the arena, so people have that confidence that they can come back in there and enjoy their sports and entertainment. And then I think the other thing we looked at is, obviously we haven't touched much on it, but the financial piece of it is, you need to understand that other than Amazon, I think everyone's having a hard time right now. Amazon and Zoom and Tesla is just the economic impact, and as a leader, understanding what that economic impact is and how you can get yourself back to normal as quickly as possible. And we have all been affected by it.
Steve, thank you so much for your genuine leadership, for your humane leadership. Thank you for everything you do for our community to make it. Our community is a much better place for us and for our kids to live in because of you and Jeff Vinnick and all your colleagues. I'm sure I'm speaking on behalf of the 6,000 listening to us. Your wisdom is truly insightful. Thank you for your time, my friend. And
my
it's
pleasure.
so good to see you. Thank you. Thank you for everyone. I hope you enjoyed this. It went by very fast, but I hope you enjoyed my good friend Steve as much as I have. You have an extremely wonderful module tonight. I know you will enjoy it. And we are so happy at the USF Muma Cargo Business to say, no, you're part of the Muma family. Once Muma, you're always Muma, and enjoy your evening or your morning or your afternoon, wherever you are. You have a great session. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, everyone,
All right.
and have a great
Thank
session.
you.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you so much, Dean Moez and Mr. Griggs, for this wonderful pre-show interview. It is my pleasure to welcome you now to the week 4. And this week I will be sharing the lecture with you, using technology as a competitive advantage. Can it be the savior? So let me share my screen. But before I do, as usual, we are going to please ask you to write your comments in the comment box. Or you can tweet your questions to us with the hashtag USF Hospitality as usual. So here's my presentation. As I said, the title of week 4's lecture is Using Technology as a Competitive Advantage. Can IT be the savior? So without further ado, I would like to start. And I just want to put this in perspective, what I mean by technology. Technology, maybe some of you may feel that it has to be expensive, robots, satellites, GPSs are flying, all that stuff. But for the purposes of this presentation, I just want to define technology the way that I define, which is any skill, tool, process, or way of doing anything better, faster, more efficient, cheaper, and more sustainable. And this is the definition that I am going to use in this presentation. So let's just go back to the evolution of technology in tourism and hospitality. I am going to play a short clip from the Queen's Gambit, which is the popular series right now in Netflix, as some of you may watch it. But please watch this short clip and just observe as Elizabeth Harmon's mother, as she checks into this hotel for the chess tournament. This is 1960s. As you observe this, just try to see if there is any technology there. They entered the room, as you can see. Let's see what you are observing. Some of you like this show. Yes, I do too. As you can see in this hotel, there is a lot of research that has been done. Many years passed by, and one thing that never changed when you think about the hotel that you stayed. When you pick this hotel, what do you normally pay attention? All of the studies that have been done for the last how many years have found always 3 things: location, price, and cleanliness. In this hotel, there's not too many technology. Today, the definition, the situation is different. Somebody asked the definition that I use. It's right here. Again, I define technology as any skill, tool, process, or way of doing anything better, faster, more efficient, cheaper, and more sustainable. And you will see some examples there. So let me just take you back to the timeline of hospitality technology. Before I do this timeline I actually created as part of my dissertation when I was doing my PhD at Oklahoma State University many years ago. At that time, Dr. Pat Morio, who is the current dean of our School of Hospitality and Tourism Management, was my dissertation chair. And at that time, when I created this timeline, I looked at the hotel restaurant magazines, the magazines that professionals normally buy and look to see the trends. Whenever I see a technology there, I noted that as the date, like this one, for example, color TV. I have seen do not disturb, make up my room button signs in magazines, or Best Western motels. Look at here, they have 1-800 number. So this tells me that they are starting to use central reservation system right now. And look at this, color TV came in 1970s, etc. So because of this timeline, I now divided this into three different this whole idea into three different era. What I call is hospitality 1.0, and let's start with this one. 1943, IBM created the first mainframe, so everything started at that time. Look at this, 1946. Let me make this slide a little bit big for myself as well. 1970, when I was -1, ice cube makers and refrigerators started to be used in the hotel rooms. And 1972, first models of telephone systems. These are not the telephones that we use now. It used to be in the lobby that you would go write your name and wait for it, and then it would come back. 1975, air conditioning and color TV in guest rooms. 77, first global distribution system used in a travel agency. First point of sale system, Micros was used. It was called something different at that time. Hopic is the system where hotels for the first time could mark up the telephone charges in the hotels when the guest called somebody from the hotel rooms. Satellite TV, 1986 is satellite on demand movies came. Voicemail was started to be used. 87 is electronic door keys, just like this one. Punch hole, maybe some of you may remember, or magnetic stripe. Of course, there's many different ones that are happening right now. And 1990, electronic in-room safe, wake-up systems, interface between TV and PMS. 1992, I want you to listen. This is an age test. If you remember the sound, this means that you're most likely over 40. Let's listen quickly. I don't know if this sound is familiar to you, but if it is, you will know that this is the first dial-up for the internet. When we connected to the internet with the dial-up, you would just hear the sound. Actually, this was a happy sound because it was much better than the busy signal. Remote check-in, check-out systems, 1993. First hotel website, Hyatt. And this is how it looked. This is not from 1994. This is actually from 1996. That's the earliest that I could go in archive.org, which is the archive of all websites. But this is what it looked like. Hyatt and Choice were the first hotels that had a website. 1995, and somebody said I'm 34. No, that's great. So 1995, high-speed internet access. Wired came into the hotels and real reservation access. That means that for the first time, Choice Hotels actually sold a room and they dropped the inventory from their hotel system automatically. So this is actually finishes the Hospitality 1.0 up to this moment. Then Hospitality 2.0 starts. And that one started with 1996, high-speed internet access with wireless. 2000, voice over IP. That's all the Facebook calls, WhatsApp calls, Viber calls that we are doing. High definition TV came into the hotels. First radio frequency identification used in hotels. IPTV, Internet Protocol TV, customer relationship management software. 2007, iPhone came into our lives, as you all probably, most of you use a smartphone today. First hotel mobile app was 2009. First hotel cloud property management system, check-in, check-out system was in 2010, along with self-service kiosks. And this is the end of Hospitality 2.0, which is about 15 years, much shorter than the other one. And the reason I name this era is Hospitality 3.0 because of augmented reality, virtual reality now started in hotels, travel agencies, museums, restaurants, everywhere. And we will see some examples. Artificial intelligence. 2016 is the first year that a robot hotel was open, Henna, and a robot restaurant also. Chatbots and voice-activated systems, we started to see them in 2017. Uber and Lyft, autonomous cars in use for the first time. And 2020 is actually is starting the 3.0, 3 hospitality 3.0, and etc. So if you were to think about right now, how many systems are there? Sorry. Okay, I'm back now. Sorry for the technical. And how many systems in a full service hotel? If you think about this, in 1960s, you've seen somebody said that it's only TV was the technology there. You're right. And today, if you were to look at a full service hotel, you would find 65 different systems that are being used to make this exactly. Robin, Cole, thank you. I also think that it's amazing technology journey. Just like you see here, the bubbles that are pink is outside, the bubbles that are blue inside the hotel. Although they are changing, restaurants is no exception. There are about 30 different systems that makes the restaurants. So all of these bring me to the new era. Now hospitality 3.0 is finished. Now what I call is hospitality 3.C. And a lot of, so tourism 3.C, hotel 3.C, restaurant 3.C, all of them. A lot of people think that this C is Corona. Actually, no. That C is for confidence. Just like you heard in Steve Griggs' earlier interview with Dean Moez, that he said that confidence is so important. So that C now, 3.C, hospitality, restaurant, tourism, whatever, is all we to earn the confidence in a good way, and technology can help. So our University of South Florida M3 Center for Hospitality Technology and Innovation, which is the research arm of the School of Hospitality and Tourism Management, has done a study. This is started in July. We try to measure the American travel confidence. We ask people 0, no confidence, to 100, full confidence, when they fly, when they eat in a restaurant, when they go to museum, theater, music concert, you name it. But I'm going to show you the results of that one. But before, I would like to just simply ask you, please join me for a very short poll. As you can see here, there is a QR code or the website, m3center.org/poll3. Please answer this question. What is your confidence level for traveling right now? If you please take maybe a few seconds, and then I will ask Faizan to share with us the results. Thank you. I would like to ask Faizan to share the results with us, please. He is going to share his screen in a second. Here you go. So if you please, refresh, it should bring the new results. Just bear with us. This is live poll. As you do it, it just brings them up here. And maybe we can do it one more time. And if it doesn't work, that's okay. We'll bring it back to you in a second. Okay, here we go. 141 of you has completed the survey. If you scroll down, Faizan, please. Here, the 25% of you said that you are confident, 41 to 60%, which is kind of the biggest share. There is a across the board. So if we go back to my slides here, I'm going to, here we go. And the results from our American Travel Confidence Index, which is very similar, 63% of all Americans say that they are overall confidence index for travel confidence. Again, 0 is no confidence to 100. You want this number to be more than 90%, 95%, so that people can travel. Here's another research result from our study. Again, this is the American travel confidence. As you can see here, that this red one is showing the travel confidence over the last 4 or 5 months that we are doing the study. And the black one is the occupancy for hotels in America. This number comes from Smith Travel Research. And the green line here is the number of domestic flights taken in America. And the blue line is the COVID cases in USA as we speak. You can see that travel confidence and the occupancy in hotels are almost the identical. So what this tells us that confidence is the most important thing that companies can do to be able to increase so that people feel safe and secure to be able to come. So when you go to the airline websites earlier, you would see that people are probably talking, the airline companies are showing you where to fly, what's the destinations, cheap flights, etc. Today, that changed quite a bit. Is the travel meaning in the companies or general? That's general, everybody. That was general. And let me also bring the comments here as well too. So, and today, when you look at the airline companies, they are actually showing this particular fact, that the HEPA filters in the airplanes to be able to increase the confidence in people's minds, so that telling that, look, in the airplane, the air that you're going to breathe doesn't come from the other people in the plane. We take it out, we clean it with HEPA, just like you see in Norwegian Airlines. If you go to their website, the first thing that you're going to see is this video. Please look at this video, what they are showing you. Online, right? There's no contact there. Masks, again, come here. We are going to do app, mobile app, again, technology here. Scan your board, again, no contact, just like we have been hearing this. Social distancing, all of these are message to the travelers to be able to increase that confidence. How successful they are, we have seen the results. Again, your boarding card, you go in there, you board the plane, the flight attendants are wearing masks, you are wearing masks. So you see this, right? This is again in Norwegian's Wi-Fi technology. By the way, free Wi-Fi in Norwegian, as you can see here. And look, HEPA filters, again, showing that people that you clean the airplanes. We didn't want to see that before necessarily. Emirates Airline is doing that also similarly. When we see this here, Emirates started in April, the first airline to actually give you a rapid COVID test when you board the plane. Please look at this video very quickly. So you see this video. This is Dubai Airport and Emirates planes. And here, this is not a hospital. This is the boarding gate for your flight. So again, to increase the confidence that they are giving you this test to be able to get you in there. Another one is United Airlines. They are also started this recently in October. If you're flying to Hawaii from San Francisco, they give you a rapid COVID test. If you're clear, you don't have to quarantine in 14 days there. All of this is to be able to create what we call contactlessness, right? This is as an option. It's not all, everybody is not gonna want contactless technologies. Everybody is not gonna care for it. But the key here that we always tell the hospitality industry professionals that you want to give people options. Give them options so that they are actually going to come up. What I call this Seconomy or Reconomy. C stands for here contactless and R is remote economy. So the way that we are doing things are changing very rapidly. Look at this. We were defining technology earlier. Look here, you see the Thai dancers with the face shields. Technology could as simple as this. The idea is to increase the confidence level in the tourists that are visiting Thailand, Bangkok's Erawan Shrine there, to be able to do it. Look at this beautiful hotel, Bellagio in Las Vegas. Look what they are doing, plexiglass, right? They are doing this again to be able to increase that confidence. Although this is pretty good and nice looking plexiglass, but I've seen some not so good looking, but it does functional. It does the work, just like the one that you see in example. Here's another one. You know, it's so interesting for me that the R, somebody asked what was the R, is remote economy. C is the contactless economy or remote economy. Everything is remotely now. So that was for that person. And here in this thing, you know, it's so funny. Sometimes I go to hotels and I observe. I see the guests are actually talking to the side of that plexiglass because they don't feel right. And there are some technologies just like this one, step and pull, that allow you to create a contactless opening door. And this one is actually so simple. If you were to put a automatic door, it would require much more expensive and also take time, but you can actually install a technology just like this one. Let's see how it is. You see, very simple. The person you just install in the door, you give your guest an option. If they want, they can open it this way. If they don't want, they don't have to open it. How much is this? You can find this technology for $8.99 in Amazon. If you want to buy the one that I showed you for step and pull, $29.95. If you decided to do an automatic door, it would cost you about $2,000. So that's why I said in the beginning of this lecture, technology doesn't have to be crazy expensive. What you need is to be able to create this environment that people are going to feel safe. Thermal cameras are the same one. They were started to use more often in March, April, May. But now we know that body temperature is not one of the very clear symptoms of COVID-19. Instead, just like you see in this picture, there are mobile ones that you can use, or there is also the ones that you can actually have, just like you are seeing in this video. But innovation doesn't stop there. There is now different things that are coming up, and this company, you can see this Soter Technologies created this kind of like security gate device like you see in the airports. This one not only checks the body temperature, but also blood oxygen levels, elevated heart rate, shortness of breath, and lung congestion. As you go through, it takes about 5 seconds. And this is usually, these are the things that are associated with the COVID-19. So we are going to see more and more these kind of things. Look, thermal cameras in Las Vegas casinos, almost all casinos implemented them, that if somebody is, high temperature. But now there is another problem. Did you know that body temperature is a private information? If actually a hotel or restaurant or any kind of organization kept your body temperature, it's like akin to keeping if you are diabetes or health history. As you know, health history is private. So now people are discussing, can you really measure the temperature of the person along with that shortness of air, etc. So another example of innovation that came with the ultraviolet lights to zap germs in hotels. Let's watch this very quickly. Look at this. This is a company. They are using this in Westin Hotel in Houston. You will see how it works. Very simple.
To implement a UV light robot, germ zapping robot here at the hotel.
And this is how it works. Xena is strategically positioned inside hotel rooms in this Westin location. The robot raises up to about 6 feet high, and that's where the germ-killing party starts, so to speak.
So light strike germ zapping robots create broad spectrum, high intensity.
As you can see here, that this technology kills the robots, and it is quite successful. Look, they actually just signed a $20 million deal with New York company to make germ zapping robots mainstream. So there will be more and more of these. Even the vaccine is coming, that it looks like that COVID will be here for some more time. How many of you have seen this sign when you go to a restroom in a restaurant or hotel, or something like this, a little bit different, but do not enter, restroom being cleaned? I'm sure that happened to you. It's very not convenient, right? You want to go into the restroom and then you see this one, but of course you understand that they need to clean. But this is changing now. It is time to show that you care. This is a message that we give to all hospitality organizations, as a matter of fact, to everybody. What does CARE stands for? C is clean and contactless. A is assure that you are doing everything you can to create a sanitary environment. R is reinvent. Reinvent. Whatever that you need to do in terms of technology, come and get it. Also, E is for empathy. Try to understand the guests, the employees, everybody. Just like we have seen in the last 2 weeks with the interviews that Dean Moez has done, all of these companies care and show empathy. That really creates. And somebody, UV causes higher incidence of cancers and eye damage. That is correct. That's the reason that that robot that you have seen, actually, there is no human there. So the hotel staff place it, and then they close the door, they go outside, they do it. Event industry is also responding. Let me show you some great examples. Look at this. This is a Kimpton Hotel in Miami, Epic Hotel. You see this this picture here. It social distance thing. And when you go to their website, the first thing that you're going to see is actually this video. Let's watch this. You will see this is Miami. Mask, right, is there. So here's the message that they are giving. Welcome with the gloves. Here's the hotel. You are inside the hotel cleaning, showing to the guests that you clean, not in the midnight, not when there is nobody. No contact, taking the credit card, clean, 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 more clean. Masks everywhere. And here's the event space now. You go there again, redesign, reinvented, physically distant, hand sanitizers everywhere. It now become a kind of like 100% amenity. Distant events. Here's the bartender serving champagne. And you can see the ballroom here again. But you see something here now. There's not just the tables and the social distancing, but there's a camera on the back, because this is now virtual meeting ready. What that means is that you need to give people option. Not everybody's going to come face-to-face meeting until they feel confident. So you got to give them the freedom to be able to do it virtually or face-to-face. But the hotel here in this example, what a beautiful example that they actually has created this dual environment. Earlier, I talked to Dominic Provenzano. He's a great friend of our school and the Muma College of Business. He's the general manager of Sheraton Sandkey Resort in Pinellas County here. Beautiful area. If you're not been to his hotel, please go there. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to show this short talk that I had with Dominic. As you know, in your hotel, when I came, you are using technology as much as other hotels, full-service hotels are using. When I came in, I check in, I get my electronic key card, and then I can open the doors with that one. And there were a variety of different technologies inside the room, TVs, Wi-Fi, everything. But now, with the pandemic, there is a trend on, at least from the consumer side, to be able to see some contactless options. For example, opening the door keys without any key. How does it, like, the title of this lecture is Can Technology Be a Savior? So I want to ask you, do you think technology can be a savior for Sheraton Sandkey Resort?
Without a doubt, the answer is yes. Okay, I will tell you that more and more people are using the keyless entrance, so they don't have to come to the desk. They have it on their iPhone, their key, and they don't even have to come talk to anybody, right? I can tell you Marriott as a company is, I think they have it right now about 100 different hotels, a kiosk, because guests might be just like the airlines, maybe start doing the kiosks and not go to the front desk as well. And so that's an option. But I can tell you also in the group business, not just transient. So our group customer that we've lost, prior to the pandemic, we were about a 43% group house. So a very large number of our business is group customers. And I can tell you in January, we're going to be doing our first hybrid meeting. The hybrid meeting is basically, in years past, this group was 400 people. They're going to be 200 people here and 200 people virtual, right? They're going to have speakers from all over the world because they cannot fly in for it. So they're going to figure out who's coming in, who's going to be virtual, and we're going to have meetings that way. So again, technology, without a doubt, it's critical to our success.
So dynamics has changed quite a bit. Yeah, probably I assume that you have never had to support a hybrid meeting before.
No, never at all. Never at all. So a lot of virtual things. We've done a cooking contest virtual for some clients, and we've done some happy hours, some chefs competitions as well. So we're just thinking of different ways of how to use technology. But our hybrid meetings, again, this is all new to us. All my AV guys are learning how to do things differently, because for us to be successful, a little group's better than no group at all. So, we came up with that idea and told the customer, hey, we're ready for you in January. Let's roll with this. So that's what we're going to do.
So this is how we're going to build that confidence.
Correct. And again, it's all about confidence now, right? So when our customers come in, we want to make sure that they feel confident and safe, and they feel like our hotel's clean and cleanliness, right? And then that's a lot of our marketing things. We're not marketing to large groups or international travelers. We're marketing to our individual guests that are coming in, and they're mainly drive-in, right? And our marketing message is we have a safe, clean hotel, and a beautiful big beach helps too.
Right, of course, and it's a beautiful beach. Dominic, I'm just curious personally that when I came to your hotel earlier, or any other hotel, usually the cleaning has been done, public space, I'm talking about public toilets or other places, has been done discreetly. So people didn't really want to see that's being done. But now one of the most important factors that builds confidence that on consumers is that they want to see that in the restaurants, in the hotels, the public restroom. They don't want that band there, cleaning inside. They want to be clean. Is that the same thing in your hotel? Do you also do that?
Well, 100%. So the comments that I get and we read a lot is, it's great to see the housekeepers cleaning the elevators, right? And those are the things that we've added.
Visibly, right?
Exactly. So it's not done in the middle of the night anymore. It's done during the day, and everybody's seeing it, and it's done more often too than it used to be as well. So
wonderful. Thank you so much, Dominic. Good luck to you. We appreciate your help.
Hey, you're welcome, and thank you for having me.
Thank you. As you can see here, I thank to Dominic as well for his contribution to this program. And let's talk about some restaurants also. In the restaurants, you may remember earlier that there are more than 35 different systems. Point of sale system is the heart of a restaurant. As those of you may work in the restaurants know, these are some of the early systems, Micros 1700. If anybody is in the restaurant business more than 20 to 25 years, when I went into the restaurant business first time, this is the system that we used. It was all hard key. And then 2700 Micros came into so this is half touchscreen, half hard key, 3700 with Unix operating system. And this is the latest of Micros Opera. Oracle, owned by Opera, is actually the point of sale system. Legacy systems, the old system used to be quite expensive, but now there is another way of actually acquiring point of sale systems. Look at these innovative new companies that change everything about point of sale system. They are now in a different business model. You don't pay $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 to buy a point of sale system. Now they are actually a subscription base. You pay $50, $60, whatever that might be for the point of sale system. Let me ask you, next week we are going to have a great lecture by our instructors, Joe Askren and Gary Colpitz. They're going to talk about food and beverage management. But I want to ask you, if you can tell me, if you earn $1 in a restaurant, after you take the food cost, the labor cost, the mortgage or the rent, everything, what is the profit percentage, do you think, on average for a restaurant? If anybody know, please let me know. But this is actually, a lot of people think that restaurants make tons of money, that in the restaurants, the food cost, the beverage cost, all the other stuff. Somebody said 30%. Let's just see if this is the right. So about 30% goes to food and beverage. Somebody, Adam said at best 10%. You're right. 29% is beverage cost. Labor is about 31 cents. 11 cents go to the fixed cost. Non-fixed cost is 20 cents. If you end up with 9 cents, you are lucky. So what does that mean? This means that restaurant business, you are giving me some ratios, but in reality, 7 to 10% is average food. So this tells me that cost control is so important in restaurant. When the profit margins are so thin that you have to control those costs on an ongoing basis. Sometimes people, you hear the stories that they entertain their guests, and the guests say that, oh my God, you are an amazing chef, you should open a restaurant. And some people believe them and they open a restaurant. Before it's too late, 7 out of 10 restaurants that are open even before COVID were out of business in 3 years. So that's actually the fact statistics. So technology here comes into rescue. Let me show you one actually technology, a cost control that connects the inventory management system in a restaurant to point of sale system. So point of sale system that you sell a burger, whatever that you sell, fettuccine Alfredo with chicken, and the ingredients are dropped from the inventory. So you have a ongoing basis about your cost every single time, almost real time.
Most restaurant software only covers the ordering process, but iRestora has recipe management and ingredient stock, which is an integral part of a restaurant. You make a sale, ingredients will be auto-deducted from stock. iRestora Plus, specially designed only for restaurants.
As you can see here, it is a very simple technology, but this point of sale systems can do it. Look at these examples from Domino's right now. They are reinventing. They are trying whatever that they can, is that now they have these hotspots, right? That you can order the pizza to a park because people now are meeting outside options. They are not necessarily meeting, so they would like to cater to those people. Very innovative. Another one is car side delivery. When you are ordering something in Domino's, you can write your car color and etc. When you go there, you don't even have to get out. They come to you. Again, technology helps here. Another one is that Domino's, again, one more example from it, that it remembers what you have eaten before, and it just allows you to be able to order that very, very quickly. So for the videos that have echo, we're going to fix it. I asked Faizan to mute me when we have a high volume video. I think my microphone is open here. That's why it's happening. So thank you. Domino's, again, tracker. So you see in real time, this is all technological innovations that are being happen, but not necessarily all big chains are doing it. We're going to talk about this because technology, as I said, doesn't have to be very costly. Smart payment systems have been in everybody's radar for a long time, even before COVID. What do I mean by smart payment systems? Paying with alternative ways, not just with cash and credit card, but your smartphone, wireless, etc., or QR code. This is a QR code. If you were to scan this QR code, you're going to go to actually my website, cobanoglu.com. So you are going to be able to. Making a QR code costs nothing, $0. You can just open Google QR code generator and you can make a QR code. Basically, what you are doing is that you're putting a website address in this code. If you were to scan this with your phone, if you have a smartphone, if you have not done this before, please try. It will work. It will bring you a website, and then you can do Restaurants actually are doing that right now. I helped here some local restaurants in our area, not advanced sophisticated systems like the one that you're going to see in this video, but the ones that are very simple, that you can simply direct your guest to a static website where they can view your menu. But let's watch this. Please. Okay, thank you. So what you see here is that this QR code brings the menu. If you want to take this one step even higher, is that what you can do is that you can make this menu dynamic in a way that, for example, when you go to a restaurant, we always ask the service, what's good here? What is the most popular item here? You can actually make your menu sorted based on the most frequently ordered item or the highest rated item. So that those are very easy. VB is another company that is created for hotels that is also allow you to use an app in a hotel that gives you a contactless environment. Let's see this quick video here. Oops, I just want to explain to you as this is happening. So hopefully echo, there's just music, so it doesn't hopefully bother you. Here, this is a app, right? You see somebody's cell phone here. You can go to different systems in this restaurant or hotel, view the restaurants, as you can see, get the information about them, or you can also go and order food from your room. So this is really very nice. Another technology, and it is quite inexpensive, so it's not very expensive system. That is, and now that brought us to robots. A lot of restaurants and hotels start to use robots, not just now, but even before the pandemic. So what do I mean by this? For example, I'll give you one good example. Flippy was actually a prototype that has been created few years ago, actually 4 or 5 years ago. And what Flippy does, as you can see in this video, Flippy is flipping burgers, as you can see. It can understand what's the temperature of these burgers, and also flips them when the time comes, and it makes sure that it actually cooks them to the best of their. So White Castle is actually made an agreement with Flippy, so they are bringing this into their restaurants to be able to cook sliders and fries. Let's see how this works. So as you can see here in this one, White Castle and Miso Robotics are working together to be able to do this. And this technology was quite expensive in the beginning. It was cost about $60,000. Now the cost is under $30,000. It's gonna go down and down because there is a lot of research and development needed to be done. And some of you may tell me that, Cihan, you are in hospitality college, but you're talking about robots that's going to replace humans. We will talk about that. But first, this is reality. What I'm just conveying you is that what is happening clear and loud, and the way that COVID pandemic is actually did. Normally, these technologies would take another 10 to 15 years to become mainstream, but it speed up this process so rapidly because of the COVID, again, contactless environment. Sally the robot is replacing these open salad bars in restaurants. Let's see how you can actually create a very high. This also cost about $30,000 to invest now, but in 2-3 years the costs are going to decline dramatically. As you can see here, that this salad bar is also going to do now. Cobotics, the company that makes this Sally, the salad robot, adds contactless ordering feature, so you don't even have to touch it anywhere. So you would order with your phone, and then you go to the station and take your salad as well. Is the salad bars the only thing that's being robotized? No. Brico actually is a coffee robot. Costa Coffee, maybe it's quite popular in UK. They actually bought this company. Not only they bought the technology, but they acquired the entire robotic company. Now it's part of Costa, and they are going to make this in every single places that they have. So not only just that, but again with the app that you'll be able to order and go and get your coffee just like this one. You know, this is going to maybe change the way that Starbucks and all these coffee stores are going to be operated. But regardless, it's here to stay. Not only coffee, look at this next robotic machine, Yokai Express. This is in Korea and China. The dishes out delicious ramen bowls. So, and even accepts the airline vouchers. So this is coming loud and clear, and it's going to get better and better. Look at this. This is new, brand new. KFC has implemented artificial intelligence supported robot that understands your emotions, and based on your face recognition, if you have any social media or history with the company, based on this one, it suggests you what you should eat, what to eat, kind of options for you. But most of the time, it is accurate. So Baidu, which is China's Google, is working with KFC, and let's see how this works. As you can see here, that there is quite a bit technology going there. This is a prototype. What this means that in the next 5-10 years, we are going to see this everybody. And I'm looking at your comments. It's amazing. Some people say that this means that, you know, migrating to the hospital technology. Yes, this is actually, we're going to be discussing this in the coming slides. You will see some more examples. Softbank Robotics. Maybe you don't know this company, but if I were to tell you Boston Dynamic Robots, maybe you may know. Boston company is the owner of Softbank SoftBank actually owns Boston Dynamics robots. But Pepper can speak 15 languages, do not sleep, no break, no holiday, no girlfriend, boyfriend. It works 24/7. All it needs is limited maintenance and some oil. So Pepper is actually designed a robot to interact with humans. So it's going up. But again, right now, these are all not mainstream technologies, but they are going to become more and more. So Boston Dynamics actually is owner of this idea. And Hyundai, if you can see this slide, that they just actually talking to SoftBank owned Boston Dynamics to be able to purchase this technologies. And here's one example how Pepper works in a real environment. By the way, just notice that MasterCard is the sponsor behind this because they are also pushing for the contactless payments with the MasterCard. Let's watch very quickly.
Hi, Papa. I'm hungry.
Hello, delighted to have you in MasterCard Cafe. I'm at your service. Please pair with your MasterPass wallet and start ordering. Nice to meet you, Veronica. What would you like to order?
Can I have a beef burger?
Sure.
2 fries?
Regular or large?
Large.
All right. Anything else?
Orange juice.
Sure.
That's all.
Great. We have a promotion today. You get 1 cheesecake for $2. Would you like to add it?
How many calories?
Each cheesecake contains 90 calories, 3 grams of fat, 2 grams of carbs, and 6 grams of protein, which...
What do you think about these technologies? I see that some of you write technology fails, and somebody said that these robotic salad bars, etc., humans refill them. There is a sanitation issue, just like any other restaurant. There is a sanitation issue as well too. Technology fails. We'll talk about that in a second. Kiwi is actually food delivery 3.0. Again, contactless delivery, food delivery. This is becoming more and more common. It started to be used in university colleges first, but now it is becoming more common. I want to show you how it works. You order a food here, let's say any kind of from the app, and if that restaurant supports Kiwi robot, which is a food delivery robot, they give this to the Uber Eats kind of a clerk. This person gets the order and meets with Kiwi outside in a meeting point, as you can see in the video. And then the person puts the food orders, close the lid, and sends them off to the guests. And somebody actually wanted to break into this robot. They wanted to open the lid, and they wanted to see the person just got the notification that Kiwi came, and they just got the order. In another attempt that they actually tried to steal the Kiwi. But this thing has cameras all over, and if it notices that it's being stolen, it actually sends the video of the person to the nearest police station. So the police with the GPS comes there and do it. And they also try to vandalize, but it's not, it doesn't work. Also, you can see here, somebody N said that I prefer human touch as long as human has good customer service skills. Another person, on the contrary, said that I rather talk to a robot than most people's attitudes. Here the idea is option. Give people option. If you force people, you must use Kiwi, you must use salad bar, I think you are going to lose some people, just like we are seeing here in our participants. The idea is to give options, but the fact that here is that anything that will be automated will be automated. Somebody said the food will get cold. Actually, it doesn't, because it has heated or refrigerated mechanism inside. It will be very, very hot, actually. Somebody said USA behind the times with contactless tech applications. I agree. Here in this slide, you see that Piestro, which is another company, actually partnered with Kiwi. In this model, this is a self-service pizza maker. So you order from your app or from your home, from the website. It goes into this Piestro, makes the pizza, gives that to Kiwi automatically without any human, and Kiwi brings that to you. So this is really going to the next step on there. You see, Kiwi bot delivery robots had to San Jose with new partners, Shopify and Ordermark. So you will be able to see, like for those of us in Florida, we have Publix here or Walmart, you name it. You are going to be able to get your groceries with this. How do machines affect our behavior and interaction? $1 million question, Soji. I'm going to give you a reply to that one in a second. So this is Domino's, is new drone delivery technology. They are testing it. Let me show you a quick video. See how this works. Actually, this is a joke. This is not a real video. Domino's actually put this on their social media just to get attention. But in reality, Domino's really tests with drone technology, and this is how it looks. This was done in a couple of years ago in New Zealand, but now there is many more companies are doing this. Somebody earlier said that Royal Caribbean had the robot bartender. I see in the comments there. Actually, yes, the one that on the right-hand side of the screen here is Royal Caribbean. Cruise lines have this bartender robotic. People loved it actually, and they've been in use for a couple of years. The one on the left I'm going to show you, that's the robot chef. Imagine having one of these in your home. This is what's going to look like. Self-cooking kitchen. The ingredients are prepared, and it takes whenever it needs to take. As you can see, it makes it messy, so it's not really there yet, but it's going to come. And you can have thousands of these cooking for many people at the same time. Beijing has actually a restaurant chain called Haidala. If anybody has been to China or are from China, you would know this chain restaurant, kind of like our Red Lobster, looks like it, but it's a different concept. It's called hot pot. In the middle of the table, there is a little hut, just like you see here. You put soup in there, which is partitioned based on the flavor and the spiciness that you want. And then people order small items raw, and it comes to your table, and then you dump them into this boiling water, and you cook them, and you dip them in a sauce. It's beautiful. I love it. In the beginning, I didn't like it, but later I liked it quite much. And this Haidala restaurant actually are using robots. As a matter of fact, last time I was in China, I was in Tianjin in China, and I went to a Haidala. Our students took me there, and this is how it works. When you order something, the robots go get those small items, kind of like tapas in a way, if you were to kind of like correlate that to United States. And then those things come to you, and here's me in China with this robot. This was again December 2019. I'm again in Haidala restaurant. Look, this is my first time to see my friend. This is the robot server. I'm going in front of him. Oh my God, he just passed me. I'm trying to see what's going to happen. Look at this. Oh, he's just changing his direction, and he's going to go. I will see if I can beat him. Look at this. When you order here, he just brings the food right here to the tables, and he sees. Look, he doesn't, and Taylor is there who's filming me. Look, this guy has camera all over. This is my first time, and this is Little Beauty, right? Is that, how was the Chinese name? Xiaomei. That means Little Beautiful. This guy is amazing, but he is going to take a lot of jobs away because he's doing what a server can do. So it's very interesting. It's a social phenomena, but people like it. Actually, they are anxious to see Little Beautiful to come and serve them. Interesting. Haidala restaurant, Tianjin, China. So as you can see here, it's quite interesting. And people are actually not surprised anymore because they've been using it for a couple of years. So it's not just something. Augmented and virtual reality. Yeah, Lorraine actually probably tested the Royal Caribbean bartender, the robotic bartender. Somebody said, Laura said that too much restaurant would keep me at home even more. I agree with you, Laura. Yes, but again, the key word here is option. You don't want to just force this to the guest or even your employees. You want to keep this good balance. Augmented and virtual reality is also coming loud and clear. So, for example, there is a French company called Le Petit Chef. This is in existence for about 5 years. It actually takes this dining experience into a next level. Let me show you a quick video, this augmented reality, which will actually influence the way people order and be entertained when they are waiting in the restaurant. Let's see this.
Oh.
Imagine that you are here in this restaurant and eating like this. So there is the wow factor right now, the entertainment factor. But actually there is more to it, because this company is allowing the restaurants to be able to create new business models. So actually some restaurants tried this to be able to teach people how to make those recipes in their own home with augmented reality. Here's a quick example.
Bonjour! Let me teach you how to flamber a steak in 3 easy steps. Step 1. Take some premium gasoline.
Petit chef, are you sure you should be using gasoline?
Excusez-moi. Do you see this chef's hat on top of my head with the emphasis on chefs?
Yes.
Since I don't see you wearing one, so I wonder who would be the expert in cooking.
Okay, if you say so.
Don't worry, my big friend. I do this all the time. Okay, if you want to play it safe, how about you turn off the kitchen hood so it doesn't throw off the flame, you big safety nerd. You would think there is a big brain in such a big body, but I'm not so sure about it. Alors, step 2. Light a match and keep a safe distance. Attention, watch and learn. 1, 2, 3, c'est parti. Ah!
As you can see here, this is augmented reality. Nothing is real here. So you are using augmented technology into a real environment. And then this is going to come. Christmas decoration in Florida. Is it possible? Why not? Augmented reality allows you to do that. A restaurant actually gave their guests to be able to experience the snowflakes in there. So yes, one of our participants said it's an experiential economy now, just like this one. People want unique experience. You're right, absolutely. And these are going to be more and more. Augmented reality and virtual reality in cruise industry. Before the pandemic, of course, right now it's really dropped, but now you are going to see this unbelievable way that cruise industry is going to bring this, not just to the cruise industry, but to hotels, resorts, and other places. Let's see how this works in a cruise ship.
Also wants to play with your senses in the stateroom. In this concept cabin, screens bring windowless space to life, complete with a fake balcony. Wake up to a sunrise and watch the room transform around you. Find tranquility in a rainforest where water dripping from the palms above falls to the floor. And who wouldn't want to sleep under a starry night sky, complete with moonlight reflecting off the ocean water below? It's only a concept for now, but elements of this technology may find their way in the company's next ship. One thing that vacationers will see soon are self-driving shuttles. Guests will step aboard one of the driverless buses packed with sensors. The idea being it would save you walking time when you're near the port, when you're leaving.
So So you will see more and more technologies like this. For the sake of time, that I would like to show you a little bit some other examples from hotel industry using virtual reality in training. Hilton Hotels actually has been doing this for some time now. Because of the COVID, they actually accelerated their efforts to be able to use virtual reality in their training. See how.
Every day at the corporate office, we make decisions that impact the team members at the hotel. So we really needed to make sure that our corporate team members understand the complexity of working in a hotel. Oculus for Business has really shifted the way we work. We can truly upskill team members faster and really focus on empathy building, which was a game changer for us.
We then said we can use this tool to be able to really help our team members practice different scenarios of building empathy with our guests and make sure that we are delivering best-in-class service.
Hi, I'm here to check in.
If we were to try to do this in a traditional setting, when you have 400,000 team members, that is not something that comes in an inexpensive way for us, and nor do I think it's realistic.
Every time there's been a significant advancement in the way you interact with computers, something great happens. So when the Quest came out, it was groundbreaking for us because just like that, you have 60 OF possibilities for your experiences. Having all this available to you allows you to concentrate in what's most important, that getting what the client sees when they close their eyes and making it happen.
In this one, actually, you see that this virtual reality allows you to artificial intelligence, so that the things that you cannot do in real life, that allows you to be able to practice many times. Portico is another company, is actually creating this experience for front desk experience. This is, again, I want to show you a short clip because I want the participants to understand the opportunities with this technology. And now it's becoming mainstream. Somebody said Disney experimented with this years ago. Yes, I agree. This is not a new technology. This didn't come yesterday. So these technologies are actually been in development for years. And let's see this example.
Hello, and welcome to Portico's Hotel Check-in Simulation. In this exercise, you'll be responsible for greeting a guest and checking her into the hotel. So take a moment to look around and get comfortable in the environment. And when you're ready to begin, just say, "I'm ready." Have fun.
Hello, and welcome to the hotel.
So we always use the guest's name when greeting them. This helps personalize the experience and makes them feel welcome.
Actually, what happened here is that since the trainee did not say the guest name, the artificial intelligence understood that and just said that you need to say the guest name. So this is just one example that is there. So this is a study that we are actually trying with virtual technology, that we are showing these participants as part of our study, a video of a destination with virtual reality headset and also two-dimensional, and try to understand the differences. But because of the COVID, we had to kind of give a break to this research, but it will continue. I've shown you earlier that Hotel Henna in Japan were the first robot hotel that allows you to check in by robots, but it is the first hotel that fired these robots. They understood that the robots were not economically feasible. It was too expensive to maintain for them. So that's why so some of you were talking about what's going to happen. So this is one of the importance. The economics needs to be there, not just a wow factor. So continuing, the robots are existing in the hospitality industry everywhere. I want you to meet with Patty Birliska. Patty is one of our undergraduate students. She's actually a hospitality major and also doing an honor student. She's doing a study as we speak right now. So she's wanted to understand the impact of the type of robots in a hotel setting. So she has shown people 3 different robot types. Connie, which is used in Hilton hotels. It's a concierge robot. It doesn't move too much, but it just answers question. The second one is Savioki company, which is like an Archie, you will see in a second. And the other one is Ada. Ada is actually a humanoid robot. And so I also would like to cherish Patty for her hard work, and we'll be happy to share the results of her study with you. This is Archie. Archie is one of these. I earlier talked to Ken Edwards, and then he and I discussed this because Ken is the CEO and president of TriStar Hotel Group. He owns and manages multiple hotels, and in 3 of his hotels, he actually uses Archie as we speak, actually for a couple of years. And I asked Ken about his experience, about 4 minutes of this earlier talk I want to share with you.
Yeah, so we have Archie in 3 hotels, and they're in different areas of the country. One is in Arizona, one is in Indiana, and the third one's in California.
Wow, that's amazing. How did this idea come to you? Let me just start with this one.
Well, as you know from being a student in your class, I just love technology. In owning an e-learning company and developing it in 2012 before it was even popular, and with COVID-19, e-learning has become one of the most prominent types of forms of learning currently. So we've always had that interest in technology. And so I read about a company called Savioki. They were a startup company. They were out of San Francisco, San Jose. I called, spoke to the CEO and said, hey, I would like one of your robots as a beta test. And I was the 8th hotel in the history of the world to have a delivery robot. And that was at our California Hilton property.
Wonderful. Great. So let's get into the details of it. First, I want to start from the guests. What did the guest do? How did they react to Archie? Can you tell us some of your findings?
Well, you know, Archie at California property has been there since 2016, so 4 years. 2016, 17, and maybe even 18. They thought they were in a movie called The Jetsons. I mean, they've never seen a robot. They've seen it on TV, in movies or cartoons. So for them, it was quite a thrill. And you can use a robot for other things in delivery. We use the robot for coffee breaks, for birthday parties for kids. And we even had one person who was going to get engaged, had the robot pull up with the engagement ring and ask his girlfriend to get married. So you can use it for other areas other than just delivery to the room, as you saw in the video.
And is it the same in other properties as well? Guests like it?
They love it. I mean, our star rating, you can rate the robot from 1 to 5. In our California hotel, it's 4.95.
For the sake of time, I would like to just invite you to watch this video. I will send you the link in Schoology and also post here. I talked to Ken about 15-20 minutes, so I'm happy to share this, but he also shared with me that his staff members also love it. Technology brings solutions, in conclusion. So I'm gonna finish in a few minutes. Bring solutions, but at the same time, a lot of challenges. And one of them actually is, breaches, data breach, as you can see here, the one that I am showing you on the screen with Expedia and Booking.com has lost many, and one of the participants actually said that she doesn't like to share her personal or financial information with anybody. Marriott got hacked. Look, this is in March of this year again. And the interesting thing is that you can even buy this data on the internet, 142 million MGM hotel guest information. And the way it happened actually was very simple. So they sent a phishing email to one of the Marriott employees, and this person filled out the form that they ask. I'm sure that you know that there are different types of phishing attacks, which we all have to be careful. It comes either email or it can happen in a hotel via the internal phone, house phone. You will get an email just like this one. We detected something unusual. Please sign in your Windows credentials here. The minute that you do it, unfortunately, millions of people do fall into this trap, phishing. Another one is just like this one. There is many more. One common one that the hackers go into your hotel and they go into one of the house phones and they randomly call one room in the hotel and they say that there is a problem with the credit card. They are calling from the front desk and then they ask them to give them the credit card. They ask all the name and everything, CDC code, CVC code on the back. And unfortunately, this happens also too. Oracle admits, which is the company that owns Micros, and Fidelio, compromised merchant. The hotel hackers actually love hotels because there is Wi-Fi, restaurants also, they come and they sniff. If you go to Google, if you just put data sniffer, network sniffer, you can even download this for free of charge, but please don't do it because it's illegal in some states. And there are some websites actually even show you how to do this. But once you do that, whatever is in the air, if it is not protected by VPN, sorry. I'm sometimes having a little technical issue here, but I apologize. And then people even show you how to do this. This is, again, another example of this. So how do you protect yourself and your company? Your technology must be up to date. If you have a hotel like this one, you should definitely change it. Look at this.
World News Getting Answers tonight is hotel chains and their guests have a new high-tech problem on their hands this evening: the swipe cards to get into their room. Here's ABC's Mark Greenblatt.
Just blocks from Times Square, tourists trust hotels like the Hilton Garden Inn for a safe night's sleep. But when ABC News checked in, we discovered a major security hole. Electronic locks on guest rooms can open without a key.
I'm going to insert this marker into the bottom of the door, and the door is going to open up.
You are in my room with your hands on my iPad.
Security consultant Nick Percoco showed us just how easy it is to break in with a device that costs just $50 to build.
I can go down the entire...
I would like to tell you that this is just one example, but please don't try this because these are not legal. Obviously, it's illegal, but it does happen. And how do you protect yourself is actually there is something called PCI DSS, Payment Card Industry Data Security Standards. This is actually an organization that's composed by the credit cards. They tell merchants, the companies that accept credit cards, to follow some simple steps, and they are common sense. Look at here. If you see here what they say, that, for example, look at number 2, do not use vendor supplied defaults for system passwords. How many of you actually use password as a password? Look at this. They did an analysis of all the stolen passwords. I love you and sunshine are the most common passwords that people are using. Look at this. Password 123456 is still used by 20 million account holders. So when you have this screen come from your software, time to change your password, please don't put just one number at the end of your old password and use it. In conclusion, 2020 has been a year with social distancing and masks. 2021, as I put it, Life V plus, Vaccine plus. It's going to look like mask and vaccine, but we will still, this V plus is Vaccine plus, we will still need social distancing and masks. It's here to stay, but yet at the end of the day, do not worry. A lot of people were worried about taking jobs because what I tell people that look at these jobs. This is from hcareers.com, which is the website for hospitality jobs. Look at these jobs: corporate director of social media producer, e-commerce innovation manager, more and more jobs that did not exist 10 years ago, but now today exist. So even though it is going to take some jobs, the technology, that it will create many other jobs. It always happened like this in the history. I would like to thank you for your attention. I apologize for going a little bit over time, but here's my contact information. As usual, all the professors at the School of Hospitality and Tourism Management at the University of South Florida love to hear from you. And feel free to connect with me on social media, or email, feel free to email to me. You can also email from Schoology as well. So we don't have time for too many questions, but I will go into the comments and reply to you. Carla said that it should be important to consider the impact of using technology in conservative industries such as religious tourism. Can technology take away the sacredness of the religious experiences? Actually not. It can probably even enhance. I'll give you one example. If you were to go to one of religious sites, augmented reality can even reinvent that experience for you. So there is always a bright side and there is always a dark side of technology. You've seen these hackings and stuff that happens. It is up to you how you take it. That's why in the last word that I would like to tell you that give people an option. And also for those of you who are outside of the hospitality industry because of laid-off furloughs, think about technology because that creates a lot of amazing opportunities for you. Think about data analytics, business intelligence. Data is the new oil, as you all know. So there is a lot of opportunities. Please do not worry. In the history, there is many. Steam engine was found. People were, very scared that it will take many jobs. It did, but it created many other jobs. Next week, Professor Joe Askren and Gary Kolpis will be with you, food and beverage management lecture. We look forward to seeing you next week. Have a wonderful night. Thank you.